Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on May the 6th, 2020. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So in terms of our news, overall we saw kind of mixed data here from the US. The PMI numbers here were positive. And we just saw the employment numbers come out of New Zealand here, and we see that they were slightly better than expected. So here we were looking for a big decrease or substantial decrease, but it actually came in above expectations, and the unemployment rate is actually below expectations. So that was positive. Coming up here, we do have retail sales numbers for Australia. And then on Wednesday, tons of data, starting off with the Euro PMI numbers here. These numbers are important. They are precursors to retail sales. And as we can see, they are expected to drop here. Now, if the if the PMI numbers are worse than expected, that would be negative for Euro. So today we have seen Euro drop overall. There's been a bit of a bearish bias for Euro, and these numbers are likely to push it further if they come in below expectations. And then we also have economic forecasts for the US. As can be expected, this is likely to be not so positive because of the current COVID-19 situation. So that could cause it to drop further. Now, we do have ADP non-farm employment numbers here for US. So this number here, this is looking crazy. So we'll have to see what sort of numbers we get here. If the number is substantial, like this one here, compared to previous one, this is a big drop here. So this will show that there a lot of people have lost their jobs, and that will be a negative for the US dollar. So we'll keep that in mind, but also it will be negative for the stock markets. And if the stock markets start to drop, then that would push the dollar crosses downwards as well, because the safe haven flows into the US dollar. So we'll have to kind of monitor the situation and see how that one plays out. And then we have trade balance numbers in the Asian session for Australia. At this point, looking for a positive number. It's supposed to increase, and if that is the case, then we're likely to see Australian dollar do well. We also have PMI numbers out of China, which will have an impact on Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. And of course, we have inflation numbers for New Zealand. So the data that came out for New Zealand today was positive. So if that continues, we're likely to see a positive impact on New Zealand here. And we have trade balance numbers here from China here. It is expected to drop. Now, if this comes in better than expected, that will again be better for Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. So we'll see how it goes. Let's go on to our charts now. We'll start off with our euro dollar. So yesterday we were looking for a drop. We got that. Nice bearish candle today right into our first profit target here, or the second one, I should say. Bias here is still bearish. Now with this one, I would look for a bit of a pullback here before a further drop. So I'm looking for a move like that. Potential pullback level here is 1.0850. And in terms of our targets here, the first target will be 1.0800, and then we're looking at 1.0780 and 1.0750 level here. So bearish bias here for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, pound didn't really do a whole lot today. We did see positive numbers out of UK. However, it has failed to break through our resistance level at 1.2480. As such, we do have a pin bar here, so this is looking bearish. Now, I am looking for price to drop further, and we could get something like that. In terms of the targets here, the first target is 1.2380, Second target 1.2300. So bias here is bearish for pound dollar. Aussie dollar here, this one looks bearish as well. We were looking for price to go up yesterday. It went right into our first target and then has pulled back from there. So this is looking bearish now. We do have a pin bar. In this case, I will look for a bit of a pullback and a drop. First target is 0.6360, and then below that, second target is 0.6300. So bias here is bearish for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar here, this one also looking bearish. We do see that price tried to go into the resistance, into the first target, didn't quite hold above that and has retreated from there. So this is looking bearish as well. Now the numbers came in positive for New Zealand dollar, which has pushed it back up. But if it holds below the high of 0.6080, I am looking for a drop back down towards 0.60, and then below that 59.50. So bearish bias for New Zealand dollar as well. Dollar CAD here, this one's also looking bearish. So we have seen oil go up a fair bit today, actually. Over the last few days, it's been on an uptrend. So that looks positive. And when oil is doing well, we see Canadian dollar do well as well. And that's why we see dollar CAD drop. So bias here is bearish. Now keep in mind, price is into resistance. So if it doesn't go through 1.400, excuse me, so if it doesn't go through 1.400, we could see it turn around. But for now, bias is bearish. Next target here is 1.3950 and then 1.3850. So bias is bearish here for dollar CAD. And then silver here. Silver is interesting. We see that price is still in that range. It wasn't able to break through the support, but it hasn't quite engulfed the previous day's candle here. So in this case, if we see price hold below 15, I would look for a drop. First, excuse me. First target here is our 14.70. And then 14.20. So bias here is neutral for silver. Gold here, this one is looking neutral as well. We see for the last 2 days, price has been stuck in a range. So now bias is neutral. What I'm looking for here is if it holds below 1712, I will look for a move back down towards 1690. And if it goes through that, we could see it drop further here. So neutral bias for now. Below 1690, we're looking at 1680. So neutral bias for gold. Should it go through the high though, then there is room to the upside, 1720. And of course, there's plenty of room to the upside here. But keep an eye on the stock market. If the stock market drops, this is likely to drop with it as well. Oil here, oil looking quite good here. We had a nice bullish move in the oil. I would look for a potential continuation. Next target here is 28.20. But as we can see, price is coming into resistance right where it is right now. And if it doesn't make it through, we could see a reversal there. So watch out for that. But for now, bias is bullish, but with caution. Copper here, this one has pulled back here. Now today's candle close is bullish, but I would be careful with this one because we could get something like this. So right now, I am neutral on this, not looking super bullish at the moment. If it does go through the resistance, of course, at 2.30, it can go all the way into 2.33, potentially even into 2.35. But I would keep an eye on the resistance here. If it doesn't break, I'm looking for a move back towards 2.25. So bias here is neutral for copper. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin, today's candle close is neutral, but as we can see, price is holding our support level here, and it is giving us higher highs and higher lows. So still looking bullish overall. And it hasn't really held to the downside, so which means that we could see it go higher. 91.50 is the first target, and then 9470 is the second target. What's driving Bitcoin right now is the halving that's coming up. So right now it is looking bullish. Watch out for the high of today though, which is at 9100. If it doesn't go through, we can see it come back down again, back into the range. For now, a neutral to bullish bias for Bitcoin. Stock markets here. Stocks went up today. We see a bullish candle close, but there is also a wick on the top, which shows a rejection of the higher price. So at this point, I'm actually a neutral. So this is bullish to neutral here. What I'm looking for is a retest of today's high, which is 28.95. So if it holds below 2900, basically I am looking for a move back down. So bias is a neutral to slightly bullish, but I'm not overly excited about going long on this one. So watch out. And in terms of the target here, first target is 2840, and then second target is 2780. So neutral here for S&P 500. Nasdaq here, same thing. We see that price did go up yesterday, but now one, it's into resistance. Secondly, we do have this wick on the top, which again shows rejection of that level. So right now I would look for a retest potentially of the 9,000 level. And if it holds below, I'm looking for a move back down. So bias is slightly bullish to neutral here for Nasdaq. And if it does go through the resistance, then we're looking at 9150 as the target. But for now, the first target here is 8830, and then below that we have 8735. So neutral to slightly bullish here for Nasdaq as well. Dow Jones here, this one looking very neutral here. We see a large wick. There is bullishness in this candle, but it is not looking too bullish at the moment. So we could get a retest of the high, but then if it holds below, I am looking for price to drop here. So bias is neutral here for Dow Jones. First target here is 23,620, and then below that we have 23,300. DAX here, this one is completely neutral. With this here, what I'm looking for is a potential retest of the high, and if it holds below, looking for it to come back down. First target would be a low of today, which is 10,520, and then we have 10,200. So neutral bias for DAX here. Footsie here. We did have a bullish candle close. We had a neutral candle close here. Price wasn't able to go through the resistance at 58.70. And if it holds below, then I would look for, we may have a bit of a retest of the high, but then I'm looking for a drop here. So in this case, the first target is 57.20, second target is 56.20. So bias is neutral here for Footsie. And last one here, we have Nikkei. Nikkei looks quite neutral as well. We see that price went right into our resistance, wasn't able to go through it. So at this point, we could see a drop. In this case, as long as it holds below 19,700, I will look for a move lower. First target here is 19,360 and then 19,000. But if for some reason we see some positive news come in the market and it does go through the resistance, then next target here is 19,000. So basically 20,000 here. But for now, I am more biased to the downside than the upside. So neutral bias for Nikkei. And that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.